I'm Sherry Archibald, Paramount Theater Director, and excited to have a great group here with me. One of my favorite events every year, and I look forward to it, Dance for Christ. Many of you have probably heard it because we have this group here every year. You see them on television, and I'm sure that many of you have come to the Paramount Theater and seen one of these productions. I was just talking to them. It gets better and better every year, and so I'm excited to talk about the new pieces that are coming up. Dance for Christ, Patricia Warren, this is birthed from you many years ago. And 17. And it's amazing how it's changed and grown. It's just really flourished. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of these great boys and girls, men and women, young men and women, just growing from this experience. And of course, I see them also in the auditorium preparing for this, just emotionally, spiritually, physically preparing for this every year. I'm excited to have all of you here to talk about it today. And as we've been preparing for this interview, you've been talking about what you're going to do and how excited you are too. So if you don't mind, we'll kind of start off and just give an introduction so that our viewers know who you are. If you'll tell them your name and how many years you've been in Dance for Christ.
Okay. My name's Elizabeth Bailey, and I've been in Dance for Christ for 7 years.
My name's Joshua Crawford, and this is my 4th year of Dance for Christ.
I'm Anna Pinder, and this is my 1st year in Dance for Christ.
I'm Ryan Kimball, and this is my 7th year of Dance for Christ.
I'm Tara Warren, and I have spent my whole life in Dance for Christ.
I'm Noelle Smith, and I have done about 10 years of Dance for Christ, and am now an instructor.
My name is Nikki Houston. I've been in Dance for Christ since 2005. And I am now an instructor as well.
Wow. And again, Patricia Warren, who is kind of the mother over all of this, and I know that over many of you guys kind of see her in that way. And so it's kind of nice too to have all this leadership here, as well as the students, the leadership that kind of started out as students, so you can see how you can grow. Before we talk about Dance for Christ, just in case there are some viewers who haven't seen it over the last 17 years, Patricia, let's share with them how this got started and what it really means, what it means to you.
Wow, the short version.
Yes.
Gosh, I've always had in my heart to do a ministry with dance, because dance tells a story. And I guess it was, I kind of got in the way of my own dream, and I think it was probably with my bout with cancer that I really decided that when you're faced with death, you look at life completely different. And I really wanted my life to matter. I wanted it to matter to my children, I wanted it to matter to my students, I wanted it to matter to my community. And so I felt like sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ through dance was the most effective way that I could be effective to my students and to my community. And so we do pieces from we do all genres of dance, anything from contemporary ballet to hip hop, tap, jazz, and we tell stories from the Bible. We also tell stories about life. We tell stories, for instance, we have a new piece this year. It's kind of a redone piece. We did a piece a while back about an abortion, and this year we're doing it from the guy's perspective. And we do pieces about life circumstances, addiction, from anywhere from drugs to alcohol to cutting to insecurities. But when we do these pieces about life, it not only connects the people to what they're going through, but we get to show them God's grace and mercy through all those circumstances, through dance and through music.
Well, there's a lot of things that I wanted to say throughout that whole thing. I don't know if that I'll get it all in, but I will have to say, talking to you every year about this particular ministry, I have to share with each of you that I've had the privilege of bringing professional dance to our stage the last few years. It's a huge investment of time and resources and financial resources, but it is an amazing thing to come and see. And when I am going to see some of these professional dance companies, whether it's here to try to figure out what we're going to bring, or whether it is at showcases or going to New York to figure out, I'm always amazed at what you bring to this stage, that it rivals a company in New York. You all do an amazing job. I mean, I say that every time. I say it every interview because I just want to make sure that our viewers know that. It's quite amazing the work that you do. It is a story, many different things. And one thing I love too, as you said, there's so many different genres that if you don't like ballet, just hang tight because you're going to see hip hop in 5 minutes. And there's something different all the time. And the message is there. It is fun. It's exciting. It's powerful. And meaningful. It's emotional. I mean, it's really a bit of a roller coaster in there. But it's just amazing. So you guys do a great job. There are all kinds of different things. But you mentioned there's 6 new pieces this year, which meant you had to take out 6 pieces, which was probably tough because they're pretty awesome pieces. But I think I would like to ask some of you to just share what are your favorite pieces. You guys have been in rehearsals getting ready for quite some time. So what would you say is your favorite? And you may not, of course, you may say what the name of it is, but just give us a little piece of what it's about.
Well, my favorite piece is probably Cry Freedom, because it deals with human trafficking and what these people have to go through on a daily basis that's totally out of their control. But then it also shows you how God is there with them. So even in a situation that's horrible and that we can't even comprehend, He's there for them. So it just lets me look back on my life and say, obviously He's there for me if He can be there for them in that kind of situation. So that's my favorite.
That's great. It's one of my favorites too. I love that.
One of my favorites is got to be How I Got Over. That is just one of the most energetic pieces in the show. It's just very uplifting because there are a lot of dances that, have a more tone about things people are going through, but How I Got Over is just more like a high energy, like, hey, I made it, we're over, hi, this is how I got over. It's just...
Is that a relatively new piece?
No, it's been there a few years. It's a tap piece.
Okay, I'm trying to remember that one. And I think Freedom Cry, that's one that was done for one of the Dancing Stars, wasn't
Yes,
it?
we
And
did.
I think that's why it's so fresh in my mind too. How about you? What is one of your favorite pieces?
My favorite is probably Heaven, because it's just, there is a lot of heavy ones like we said, but Heaven's just kind of that one where it's just, you watch it and you can't help but smile when you watch it, because everything about it is just, it's heaven, it's beautiful, and like, I feel like we really feel just God's presence right then, because there's this one part in it where we all just we're not dancing, we just look in one direction, and we all just like feel the joy and the happiness that we're supposed to feel in heaven. And I think that's the time for everybody in the audience just to like, wow, like that's what I have to look forward to.
Wow, thank you.
Alright, mine would probably have to be Creation, which is like the opening number in it.
That's
one's-
one of my favorites too.
Yeah, that one, it's just so great seeing like the creation of how the world like began.
Yeah.
And Adam and Eve, like, because I get the pleasure of being Adam this year. It's kind of just like a dream come true, because I've seen like every male dancer before me like go and be through that, and I'm like, I want to be that one day. And so I finally like have gotten it, and then being in that role, you can just like express yourself, like of you being the first human, because I mean, everyone sins every day, so like I finally get to feel like how they would feel being like the first people to sin.
Well, I was thinking about when you said that, have you sat in the audience and watched that particular piece?
Yes,
From
ma'am.
start to finish, because obviously you're in it most of the time. So, but to see it from the audience is pretty amazing. So you feel like you're in a Lion King setting in the beginning. It really does. So I can totally understand why that would be one of your favorites. And to be able to think, okay, one day I'm going to be in that role. I'm going to do that, and it's a really powerful one too to open things up. So. Thank you for sharing that. What school do you go to?
The School of Engineering.
Okay, how about you?
Wayne Christian.
I'm homeschooled.
Homeschool?
Wayne Country Day.
Wayne Country Day. I loved also when you get such a mix, because obviously you guys have a big studio. You have a big group of students, and so they're all over the place. But one thing that I know is they are committed. You guys are rehearsing and preparing a lot, but it's necessary. I mean, you want to make sure that you're giving it everything that you've got. So I know that you're doing a lot in that way. But you three have been through as students, or maybe just grown up there as a toddler as well, and got to be there all your life. But how does it feel going through that as a student and then being able to teach those students and really be kind of in a different position, but know and empathize in what role that they're playing now? How do you feel about that?
You want to take that next?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, it's a different feeling. It's almost like it really is like a 180. Like, I can remember the first year I was in Dance for Christ, and I was like, I think I was 9. And I remember I was so excited to be in How Beautiful. I was like so excited, and we were there just as because we're just like a big family, so we were there like every weekend, like preparing, and it was just like such a brand new experience. And being in it now, it almost feels like they're like the pieces themselves. Like I like know them so well, and like and they almost feel like my children a little bit, which sounds weird.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Thing, but it just feels like it really does feel like a 180. I don't have children, but I can feel like that's what it would feel like birthing this like tiny little thing, and then it becoming its own thing. Yeah, like becoming its own thing like years and years later. Like even and when our kids are doing it, it's so new and fresh. Like every batch of kids, every cycle that we have, because I mean, as they grow up, it's sad, but they move and they leave,
yes.
You know. But every cycle, it's like they bring like a new like energy and like a fresh air like feeling through each piece, and it's kind of amazing.
Maybe
to
even
watch.
change it a bit because it's just a different generation and different group of students. What is one of your favorite things about teaching?
Well, this is my first year being back as a teacher. I went off to ECU to do dance performance after I graduated from high school, so being back is incredible. It has been really just rewarding and awesome to kind of see people and put myself in their shoes and remember when I was that age and like see them getting so excited and working so hard for it. Yeah, it's been awesome. One of my favorite things has probably been being able to see the youngest ones come in for their first year, because I've gotten the chance to teach some younger ones in regular classes this year, and seeing the excitement and the joy and like the effort even at that young age that they put into it is just so awesome as a teacher. And then obviously it breeds these awesome kids, so just seeing how dedicated they are and the responsibility that they take on to make it so professional is really cool to be a part of.
So you were part of Dance for Christ in artistic dance, left to go to school.
Yes.
And were you gone for 4 years and then came back?
Yes.
So that's wonderful. And this is your first year, you said, teaching?
Yes, ma'am.
Noelle was our very first Eve.
Wow.
Long time ago.
That's exciting. So yeah, just seeing that whole thing from start to finish, how it's changed too. I think that's really a great thing to share too, of how obviously growing up in the world of dance and growing up through artistic dance, for you to be able to go on to school and major in something that you love, to come back and really be able to continue to invest in it in our community. Wow, that's great. Now, where did you go to high school here?
I actually went to North Duplin.
Okay.
So it was about a 40-minute drive to come to dance, but it was worth it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome. Tara, I think just living it for so long, I mean, it's been your life for most of your life, so 17 years. Talk about how you feel seeing it every year. Obviously, you don't come in saying, "Oh gosh, it's time to do that again." You're still in love with this performance. So how do you feel like you're able to keep that that passion and interest for it so strongly?
I think it's so strange. Each year, I feel like my love for the ministry grows even more. It never gets boring to me. It never gets old. Because the dancers bring such a fresh breath of air into each piece, because they're performing it for the first time, as we have pieces in the show that we did when we were little. But they do, and we do evolve them and change different pieces of the choreography to keep it fresh and bring new pieces in and new pieces out. But I would say what keeps my attention so drawn is the kids, like the love I have for these kids, and just watching their growth throughout the year. It's just incredible, because they don't grow only in dance, but they are growing in their faith, and their love for the Lord is so genuine and so real and so raw, and they literally strive to be everything they can be for Jesus. But they don't start out that way. It's like you watch them fall in love with the Lord, and that's
when
really
you know
beautiful.
it's a ministry, right?
Yeah, for sure. And they love each other so much. I mean, there's such just a real love. They support each other. There's no competition. They encourage each other, and it's just incredible. And I mean, these kids are like, 16, 17, 15. I wasn't like that at that age.
So wise, yeah. So much
And they're
wisdom.
just so, I mean, they really are. It's just each generation is just gets more on fire for God. So
Well, you see it if you go into the back of the theater, into the Actors Annex between shows, because everyone's crashed, everyone's exhausted, they've had a good time, and they've eaten, and it's time to relax, and everybody's just all huddled up relaxing together. I mean, it is truly a family atmosphere. And viewers, I know we have talked a lot because I do love this performance, and I know that you will as well. So I hope if you've never seen this, particularly if you've never seen this, you've got to come and see this performance. Dance for Christ, March the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and also March the 25th, 26th, and 27th. There are 4 shows for 2 weekends, so you have lots of opportunities to find your best time. Each weekend, Friday night, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. So I would encourage you to go to our website for all those details, because you can also purchase your tickets while you're there, or you can find our telephone number and call us, and we can process your tickets over the phone. Our website is GoldsboroParamount.com. This is Dance for Christ, and it is coming up right here at the Paramount Theater in March, and we look forward to seeing you here. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your Sunday school classes and your church youth groups. It's a wonderful production. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.